Other parts in reverse order. Test run engine. Test run engine. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, here we go. Got a little pop. Got a little pop. She runs! Solves that problem before it even starts on this Jeep.
Oil pressure seems a little bit low.
Welcome back out to the shop. My name is Mark, and this is the BetsyRoss Jeep project. If you haven't seen the other videos on it, click one of the links in the corners and go check out the playlist. Today, we are looking to finally make that last push to get this guy running. Maybe not driving just yet, but I want to hear it pop over. So, got to finish what we started last week. I got to get the electric lines, the battery cables hooked up, and then I got a few other things I got to tidy up and get accessories on the front and then the fuel to it and go. First things first, I found another problem and I have to take stuff back off. You're not going to believe this, but we got to take stuff back off. You're going to believe it. And if you watch the series, you know. But here, let me show you. Let me show you what we're dealing with.
I don't know how well you can see it.
Let me get a light. Okay. See that? Fuel injector right there. That fuel injector is not supposed to have that crack in it. So that's a bad thing. And that means that you take that fuel rail off. Need to find some other fuel injectors and put them in there. I don't have a way of testing them, so I'm just going to go with the best looking ones that I have and then go from there. So we might have some fuel delivery problems when it comes to starting it, but I know that's not going to fly, so might as well get it over with now. Here we go. Wow, those are pretty nasty looking. Ooh dear. And there's that crack. Wow. Oh, it goes all the way around the darn thing. Well, that wasn't gonna fly. Let's get this cleaned up. I have now the three best that I have here with me today. I do have more injectors. They're in bins and I don't feel like digging through them. I have this one, which as you can see, it has 5 of one type and 1 of a factory. And the factory one, well, it doesn't match. So these are 4-hole upgrade injectors, but they're unbranded. So I'm guessing that they are like an Amazon cheapo set. They're probably not like a Bosch or some high-end thing. So just the fact that it looks like they had them replaced, but then had a bad one and then put one of the factory ones back in place, it made me think, okay, let's just slide this one aside for now. Those don't match, and I don't have 6 of the newer ones of the upgrade injectors. So that leaves me with these 2, which are matched injectors. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mix and match these with also this one, because I'm guessing that this one's probably okay. I'm going to take the clips off of them and then find the best 6 that I can based on visual appearance. This is the one that has a little crack in it. There's one that right here that has a crack in it on this rail. So I'm going to break down the rails, take the fuel injectors off, find the best, put them back on, and go from there. So this is a pretty common problem for XJs to have problems with their fuel injector rails. So what will happen is the temperature under the engine bay gets super hot and it will overheat the fuel in this rail and it will boil. And when it boils, it has kind of a similar experience to an old carbureted vapor lock, where the fuel in the rail has boiled off, and so the liquid fuel, the liquid gasoline from the pump, can't get to the injectors to get into the engine, and it starts running really rough and idling weird and shutting off, and you have to basically like start it at full throttle and rev it out to get the fuel through. So I have a couple of tricks up my sleeve that I'm gonna show you guys in a minute on how we solve that, or at least we try to solve it. Oh, come on out of there, buddy. I don't know what causes them to crack. I'm guessing it's the extreme engine bay temperatures. Oh, that one's cracked. I have 6 fuel injectors that have cracks in them, and I have 6 fuel injectors that look like they're pretty good, which means I basically have 1 spare. I think I'm going to order some new fuel injectors for this, but that doesn't stop me from putting these in. I'm very surprised by that. I haven't had these guys fail on me yet. I know that they can be a problem, but me personally, I haven't had issues with them. Yeah. All right, I think I have some new O-rings. I'm gonna grab the O-rings and start putting this rail back together. Yeah, I gotta put that on first. Stand by. So the problem that this is solving is often referred to in the XJ community as heat soak, and like I think most people know, it's caused by underhood engine temperatures that are not evacuated quickly enough. So a good tight fit. And there you have that. Let's put this cap back on. I did have to cut out for this regulator baffle thing here. Some years of the XJs, they don't have that. So you might have to do that. What I'll do is I'm going to put a couple of zip ties around that too, to just kind of make sure that that slice that I put in there doesn't expand at all. But there we have that. Now I can put the injectors back into it. That'll do right there. Uh-oh, can't get to that back one. I gotta get a different kit for that. I pretty well destroyed my wire brush. Okay. Put the grease away. Should be ready to go. We'll put the injector rail back in. Alright, again, while we've got this apart, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put this protectant seal back in here. So we got to pop these wires back off. And yes, it does come with really good instructions. So injector covers, install other parts in reverse order, test run engine. Test run engine. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, here we go. Try to keep these things dirty. It's such a satisfying little click, like a yes, okay, good deal. Satisfying is right. Satisfying is the word that I was looking for. Now they want me to click these guys back in place. Start back. I'm pretty pleased with how that turned out. Only time will tell whether or not that solves the problem. But we're in here now. We'll take care of that. And next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to get as much done on this as I can. See if we can hear it fire over at some point. So you guys go hang out on the time lapse and we'll see how much we get done. We made some good progress today. We have the belt system is in, the water pump, alternator, everything is in over here. I have the new coolant hoses, radiator hoses, ECU is in, wiring is done, heat shield is in, made new battery cables, new cables there, positive and negative cables, all new. I've been chasing some ground wires. We have some ground wires over there. So made some really good progress today. I'm going to check some things off this list. We got the alternator, water pump, battery cables, chasing ground wires. We have AC compressor on there, power steering pump, power steering lines, thermostat, Don't have heater hoses, but we do have radiator hoses. Oh man, we made some good progress today. So I'm gonna come back at it tomorrow and get with it. That'll be like this for you guys, but I'm really thinking in this video you're gonna see this guy start up. So I just jinxed myself, but I want to hear it run. How about you? Let me know in the comments if you want to see it run. Or just wait, I think it's coming later in the video. We'll see. Good morning, and welcome back to the shop. It's another day. I have the same shirt on, so don't be confused by that. We are back at it. Last night I left off with, we're really close. Today, I think the first thing we're going to do is we're going to see if there are signs of life in this. So I'm going to grab a battery off the stack here. I'm going to connect it up to the battery cables that I made and just see if there's any smoke that comes out of the wires, magic electrical smoke. And then from there we're going to go to see if we can get the engine to turn over, and if we can get the engine to turn over with the key, then we'll start putting fluids and vacuum lines and just tidying up, because we are really close. So here we go. I'm going to set you guys over here in the corner and we're going to see what it looks like to put power on it. We have lights. Let's see what we got. Oh, beep, beep, beep. Whoa! 172,500 miles. Okay, I think I heard the fuel pump kick on. Yeah, fuel pump kicked on. Okay. All right. No smoke. Okay. That's a good sign. Lights go off with the door shut. All right, that's a good sign. Now I'm gonna make sure we're clear for contact, and I'm gonna see if I can get it to crank over with the key. Here we go. Okay, that's pretty exciting. The key cranks over to starter. So at this point, it is fluids, final checks, and make sure everything's connected. All the wires are in, all the vacuum lines are closed, and everything's clear. And then we can start to try to kick it over. So I'm gonna go to that, set you guys on a tripod, and you guys can time lapse with me while I try to get some tidying up and some finishing touches to get it ready to start, because I think we're ready. We've been making good progress. Got the radiator out and in. I got the fluids changed, oil changed, transmission fluid changed. Got the oil filter on. Obviously this is a radiator, brand new, out of the box. We got the fittings. I'm starting to put that in now. and we're getting really close. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fire it over and try to get oil pressure, and I have to have at least the transmission cooler lines connected so that as the transmission pump starts making fluid and pressure, it can not squirt all over the front of my shop. So I'm probably going to hook the radiator up, but I'm not going to fill it with water until we do that, and just make sure there's not any weird things that happen. And so we're about to that point where we can start to fire it over. I'm going to get the transmission cooler lines connected. We're going to try to get oil pressure on the gauge, and if that all goes well, then we'll put the spark plugs in, we'll put the coil packs in, we'll put fuel in the tank, and we'll see if it goes. So we're getting really close. We have everything attached now. I got the spark plugs out of it. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to roll it over and see if I can get oil pressure. So this is going to be the first time that we've cranked this motor over since we got the since we did the compression test, and now it has all the accessory drives on it. It has oil in it. It has oil. The transmission has oil in it. So what we want to see is we want to see oil pressure on the gauge. Hopefully we can do it. This is also the first time that we've kind of turned that key and let it try to do its thing with this, so there goes nothing. I have a battery over there with cables, and they're connected there. Because I don't have a battery for it yet, I still have to buy one, so let's see what we got. There goes nothing. The oil pressure starting to climb. That's good. We had about maybe 20 or 25 pounds of oil pressure, so we are in good shape. And that means that we can put the rest of it together, put the plugs back in it, and see if we can get it afire. We have added spark plugs back in, we've added the coil packs back in, and we've added some fuel. So, now it's the true test. Now we get to find out if it's time to hear this thing make noise. We're just going to fire it off, we're going to try to get it to make noise. If it'll make noise, we're going to stop and check for leaks. We still don't have coolant in it, but we do have everything else we need to make it make noise, so here we go. All right, we do need to check for leaks. So you watch right here. I'm gonna watch underneath. We're gonna turn. Oh, we gotta hook up the battery. Okay. You ready? Be a little loud if it does. Was that a little bit of something? Battery's not happy. We're gonna need more juice. Alright, well, the only logical thing to do at this point, I don't have a battery for it, so I'm gonna steal the one out of my Jeep, and hopefully that and some jumper cables will get us cranking fast enough. I think we all knew the day would come that I would cannibalize my own Jeep for hers. I didn't think that it would be the battery, though, to be honest with you. Did not expect that one. See that?
that doesn't do it, then we might not ever have a running Jeep. Here we go. Ready? Fire in the hole. Got a little pop. Got a little pop. She runs! Oh, that feels good. Oh, that feels good. Okay. Alrighty. Fire in the hole now, so let's get some water in it and see if we can get her to run enough to get up the temperature. I'm pretty happy about that. We are waiting on some coolant, or well, water to add to dilute the coolant. So I am going to start it up again and run it a little bit and check for charging and oil pressure. So here we go. Oil pressure seems a little bit low. Charging looks like it's charging, but the oil pressure didn't go above about 20 psi. So I think what we'll want to do is we'll want to verify that somehow. So let's maybe try to swap the plug or the unit out for a different one. Otherwise, we have a problem. Alright, well, that is what we took out, and we spliced in one from the other harness. So now we have that going on down there. You see it? I need to shrink wrap those wires, but that wasn't entirely the problem. I had to change out the pressure ascending unit too. That was also bad. So new sending unit. Spliced in some wires. I have to heat shrink those. We got it to run a little bit longer. I had a little over 45 psi, or at least it's on the gauge, so we know it's yet working. It may not be completely accurate, but it's good enough for now. We did find our first leak. Transmission cooler line is leaking right there at the radiator, so that means that the pump is at least pumping transmission fluid, which is a good sign. So we'll solve that. We're still waiting on some coolant, but it's coming, and we'll start get some warmth in this thing. I'm pretty excited. Almost up to temperature. Probably about ready to open that thermostat up. Oil pressure seems to be a little bit unreliable, maybe inconsistent. We'll have to look into that a little bit more later. That splice could be causing us some issues, but overall, it's running great. I'm really, really happy with it. Probably should get a fan on it before I run it for too much longer. I am very excited about where we got to tonight. With that milestone, we're going to call it. That's the end of this video. Thank you so much for stopping out. We're really excited to have this thing running. There's still a long way to go before we can have it driving and in the hands of one certain teenage girl. But listen, we're excited. Thanks for coming along with us on this journey. Thanks for stopping out. Thanks for watching.
Like this video.
Like and subscribe.